I'm not paying 3 times the price for Prismatic Evolutions on release date. And if that means I never ever own this set indefinitely, do you think I really give a flying Okay guys, where do I start? This is an absolute mess. Prismatic Evolutions, this debacle with the market at the moment. Prismatic Evolutions and now Journey Together, the next set coming out, which pre-orders are already unavailable. They've reached capacity. You can't go online, at least for the moment, and pre-order Journey Together. I don't even know yet if Journey Together is going to be a strong set or a weak set. So it's like, why would I overcommit to the pre-order anyway? I have no idea if it's going to get printed into oblivion. I have no idea when this bull market's going to come to a standstill, and it will. This won't continue. This is almost an artificial bull market to a degree. This is really, and PokeOz talks about this all the time to his credit, is supply and demand. He bangs on about supply and demand all the time, and this is a perfect example. Pokemon is just not printing to demand. Demand right now is through the roof. Pokemon is not printing to demand. Local, LGSs, they're not getting much supply either, and then they start struggling. Like, small business owners are struggling. I know we don't like to feel sorry for small business owners. We all think they're just magically rich in this hobby, but it's a tough business for them as well. They might only get about 6 sets a year released from Pokemon, and if LGSs aren't getting enough supply, they've got a choice to make. Either they sell it at market price. Specifically Prismatic Evolution, a lot of LGSs have not got enough supply. So what do they do? If you're in their shoes, think about it for a minute. What do you do in their shoes? Do you sell it at market price, not market price, at a fair price, because you don't want to look like a scalper and rip people off, and you've got a short supply, and if you sell it at a fair price, you can't keep up with your business overheads, and now you got to wait for the next set to come out, which maybe you don't get enough of that either, enough supply of that Journey Together. We don't know. I don't know what the numbers are there yet.
And it's we're doing our best to navigate the situation, but I know a store that's a couple towns over, and I think they got 2 cases of ETBs, which is 20, which is that hurts me, right? Because that's a store that's trying so hard just to survive, and you get 20, and they either sell it for a reasonable price and lose a ton of money, and your favorite store in that area fades away, or they do sell it for the market price, because that's what the market price is, and all of a sudden now LGS stores are almost being lumped into the bucket of scalpers. So I think it's an unfair situation for a lot of LGSs.
That, and you kind of have to worry about the scalpers coming to you to just resell the product right away, right?
Yeah.
So how do you navigate through that, right?
Yeah, so and so what ends up happening is, a lot of you may have seen stores actually saying that they won't have any sales on launch day, cancellation of pre-orders. The reason why is a lot of times stores don't expect your allocation to, say if for Surging Sparks you got 70 out of 100 you order, I'd say for Prismatic it's you order 100, maybe you're getting 40.
Small business owners, LGSs and so on, they're not getting enough supply, guys. Now, I was kind of, everyone's finger pointing right now, and I'm pretty mad at the scalpers, right? I don't like scalpers. I'm not buying from scalpers. But these small business owners are getting lumped in with the scalpers as well now, because they have a choice. They can lose money selling these products at fair price, or they can sell them at market price, which you guys, anyone who's buying this stuff at 3 times the regular price, you're paying too much. Now, that's up to you guys. I'm not judging anybody that's bought this for 3 times the price. If you want to pay $150 for a Prismatic Evolutions ETB, or down here in Australia, 220 to 250 Australian dollars for 9 packets in an ETB of Prismatic Evolutions, obviously the EV promo as well, which has some value. But you want to pay 3 times, regardless of what country you're in. I'm not focused on the conversion rate from Aussie dollars to US dollars or English pounds or whatever. The philosophy is the same around the world. Are you prepared to pay 3 times the regular ETB price or the regular price for any product when it gets released? You guys are overcommitting now to Journey Together. We don't know how that's going to perform. That could be the next Darkness Ablaze for all you know. I doubt it would be. That's a stretch. But the point is, guys, you guys are overcommitting early. Now, every time you guys pay, whether you're a collector or an investor, every time you guys pay 2 or 3 times the price, whatever it might be, for a new set that comes out from Pokemon, every time you do that, you think, I'm only one person, what can I do? If I don't buy it, everyone else is still going to buy it, and I'm going to miss out. Who cares? Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Most investors in this space that I've been following, I'm pretty impressed with them. They're digging their heels in. There's going to be some investors that are paying 2-3 times the price for a product. Most investors that I'm keeping an eye on the internet, online, on YouTube, they're not paying scalpers prices. And look, an investor doesn't care if they miss out on the next best set. And Prismatic Evolutions looks amazing. The chase cards in this set look incredible. The prices are through the roof. We haven't seen anything like this in a long time. The prices, I haven't looked at the exact comparisons, but this is competing with Evolving Skies already. Now, this is not a regular set. Prismatic Evolutions has no booster box, obviously. Maybe it's not fair to compare it to Evolving Skies, but the prices are bananas. Will that last? I don't think so. I think the sealed product prices, or the single card prices and the sealed product prices, I think they're going to come down throughout the year. I think Prismatic Evolutions is going to get drip fed to us for the next 8 or 9 months. I don't think we need to have FOMO. I never have FOMO anyway, so that doesn't bother me. But this idea of scarcity and missing out, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about missing out, because every time you pay 2 or 3 times the price for a product that's just come out, that's just been released, you're voting, you're casting your vote. And you might not think one person matters. When you're talking about 9 billion cards a year are getting printed from Pokemon, you might think one person doesn't matter. What does it matter if I don't buy it? Everyone's going to buy it, I'm going to miss out. But you're casting your vote. Every time you say I'm prepared to pay $150 250 Aussie dollars for an ETB that's just been released, every time you do that, you're saying yes. Yes, I agree with that price. Yes, I'm happy with that price. If you're not happy with that price, but you're paying it anyway, what are you doing? Don't do it if you're not happy with that price. I'm not touching this set at 3 times the price, guys, and I'm okay with not touching it. There are so many Pokemon sealed products. Like, you can't own everything. It's impossible. I would say it's borderline impossible to own everything from Pokemon that comes out. There is always value, guys. There is always opportunity. Don't follow the crowd. Don't be a sheep. Don't worry about FOMO. I literally never FOMO. I don't want to compare this to Japanese, but as a FOMO example, guys, when the Japanese Pokemon 151 set came out, the booster boxes, right? Down here in Australia, everyone was FOMOing about that set, and that is also a really strong set, an incredible set. There's no denying 151 is an absolute masterclass of a set. But the point is, I never FOMO'd when that set came out, right? Down here in Australia, people were paying $250 to $300 Australian dollars. I'm not sure what the conversion is. Let's call it, I don't know what it is, guys. Maybe it's 150, 170 US dollars. I'm not sure, something like that. Let's call it 150 US dollars, right? Now, we're paying 250 to 300 Aussie dollars for a 151 Japanese booster box. Again, if you're mad that I'm comparing Japanese to English, you're missing my point. People were paying 250 to 300 Aussie dollars for a 151 Japanese booster box. I didn't touch it. I was okay with not paying that much, because we normally pay about, 65 to 100 Aussie dollars for a Japanese booster box. 151 is a strong set. There was a lot of hype around it, so people paid more. Was I willing to pay 3 times more? No, so I didn't. I just focused on other things. And then we had that big Japanese reprint from 151, and I picked it up for, I think it was like 100 Aussie dollars. I think the conversion's about 75, 70 US dollars, something like that, right? I picked it up for $100 a booster box, the Japanese 151, while the rest of my neighbors down here paid more than 2.5 times the price I did, 6 months earlier or so? I can't remember the timeline. But they paid $250, I paid $100. Now, that Japanese 151 booster box, okay, I know it seems like I'm getting off track here, but I'm trying to make a point here. That Japanese 151 booster box now, okay, is around 210, 220 Australian dollars. So the $250 to $280 that people paid down here a year ago, they're still at a loss. They still haven't profited off that. Why? FOMO. They jumped in on the FOMO. Now, the people that paid that much, I'm not judging you. We didn't know there was going to be a reprint. And that is a strong set, and long term, you're still going to make your money. So people down here or anywhere that paid too much for 151 at release, I'm not like casting stones. I'm not saying that was wrong. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I didn't pay that much, and I literally never FOMO. Now, I think a lot of people have learned from that. We know that Japanese is not shy to do a reprint. Let's jump back to the English sets. Let's jump back to Prismatic Evolution and Journey Together. The FOMO mindset is exactly the same as that example I just gave you with 151. Completely different set, completely different country of origin, Japanese versus English and all that. But it's the mindset, guys. Don't let FOMO dictate your investment decisions. You think for 220 to 250 Australian dollars for a Prismatic ETB, do you know down here in Australia I can get 2 Chilling Reign ETBs, and Chilling Reign is about to explode in price. It's already doing really well. The booster box is going bananas. And do you think Sword and Shield in the next 12 to 18 months, is gonna be a bad investment if you bought any Sword and Shield booster boxes now, even Battle Styles? I can get a Battle Styles booster box right now for the same price as a Prismatic ETB. Now you're scratching your head. You're going, this guy's talking about Battle Styles because he can't get Prismatic Evolutions. He can't get the gourmet dish, so he's going for the breadcrumbs. No, guys. Battle Styles is 220, 230 Aussie dollars. Exact same price as an ETB from Prismatic. Do you think there's going to be a Sword and Shield booster box in the next 18 months that's under 500 Aussie dollars? Or maybe even under 500 American dollars? I don't think so. And Battle Styles is no Darkness Ablaze or Rebel Clash. Battle Styles, I would compare the value of the chase cards, the top chase cards, and that to something like Paradox Rift, which isn't getting thrown under the bus like Battle Styles is. They were both printed into oblivion. Paradox Rift might be the Scarlet and Violet's version of Battle Styles. I might get some hate in the comments for that. There's a lot of cool illustration rares in Paradox Rift. But again, not to get off track, guys, I can get a Battle Styles booster box for the same price as a Prismatic ETB. I can get Chilling Reign ETBs. I can get Lost Origin ETBs or Build and Battle Stadiums for Lost Origin cheaper than I can get this ETB. Again, Prismatic might be a better set than all of those, but the point is, just find value where there's value. Don't go and overspend. Every time you pay $200 or $300 Aussie dollars for an ETB that just comes out, or 150 US dollars for an ETB that's just come out, you're casting your vote. You're saying, yeah, I'm okay with doing that every time. So the power is with the Pokemon Company, who recently came out. I'll put the I won't read it out, but I'll put the letter on the screen when I edit this video. I think most of you have already seen it. The Pokemon Company released a statement saying they will be printing more Prismatic Evolutions and apologizing for the low print runs. They're going to continue to print this. You're going to get opportunities to buy Prismatic Evolutions over the course of the next 8 or 9 months. Don't panic. Don't FOMO. Don't point the finger at the scalpers. If you're paying too much for this product, that's on you. Hey, I don't like the scalpers, right? But they're just taking advantage of you, of your FOMO, of you not being patient. Don't panic, guys. I'm not touching this stuff at this price. You can if you want. It's up to you. I'll focus on Sword and Shield. I'll focus on some of the other Scarlet and Violet products. Temporal Forces booster boxes I can get down here for the same price as this ETB. Will the Temporal Forces booster box in 3 years be worth more than this ETB in 3 years? I don't know. But I think that's good value for the booster box. So I'll go and get that. Screw Prismatic Evolutions. I'm not interested right now. I guarantee you I'll be able to pick up these Prismatic ETBs at a pretty fair price at some point this year. I hope you didn't pay too much. I hope you're not going to keep paying too much. And, I think just one more thing, guys, before I go. I don't like to drag other names into the mix here. There is a lot of finger pointing going on online. Poke Rev is one of the biggest YouTubers in the Pokemon space on the entire planet. I think he's closing in on 3 million subs. Here I am closing in on, I'm under 1,000 subs. I'm a new channel. I'm lucky to do one video a week with my commitments. But I'm okay with that. This is I don't want to go after Poke Rev. It's like a David and Goliath story. But he came out and sort of did a video, which most of you have seen, kind of pointing the finger at investors. Look, the Pokemon Company simply has not printed enough stock to keep up with demand. Go and look at Pokey Oz's videos. He always talks about supply and demand. And the demand is just outweighing the supply. It's really simple. And that's why you're paying a premium for this product. Stop paying it. Stop paying it. And the prices will come down. Pokemon Company is going to keep printing more of this stuff. Just be patient. The difference between investors and scalpers, investors are in it for 10 years. Scalpers are in it for 10 weeks. This market's running to a standstill. And when the Pokemon Company finally overprints on a product and all the stores have ordered too many thinking they're not going to get their allocations and they get all of their allocations, they're going to be able to pocket big money and this bull market's going to run to a standstill. And all of you are going to be complaining that there's stock everywhere and it's too cheap and you can't make money investing. So don't complain, never FOMO, never pay too much. Thanks for watching the Chase Card, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.